I became a certified anger management specialist. And we have that training here with the Diversion Center. So if you want to get trained and become a certified anger management specialist, we'll be happy to give you that training. We have live training and online trainings as well. And then I got my alcohol and drug credential with the Alcohol and Drug Abuse Board of Georgia. All right, that's the second thing. No, that's the fourth thing I got. And then, of course, I got certified in shoplifting and theft addiction. And then eventually I started my own program, which is the National Association of Shoplifting and Theft Addiction Specialists. And we definitely train people in shoplifting and theft addiction as well. And then, of course, I ended up teaching my own court-mandated classes here in Georgia. And my first office literally was $99 a month. And I maximized the 3 days I can use, because you can only use that office for 3 days. And it was a co-working location where a whole bunch of entrepreneurs came together, and they were just startup companies, but they had this big space you can use. And I had a desk like this and a laptop and a beat up printer that I use to meet my clients. But I can only use it 3 days a week. And to use it more days, I had to upgrade my my payment, or the rates, forgot the membership. Yeah, I had to upgrade the membership to use it more than 3 days a week. So I worked my butt off every single day. I worked all day, all night. I lived in that place for 3 days. I learned how to market myself. And then eventually I upgraded my membership, and my first office in there was $300. And my second office that I bought was $300. Not I bought, but I rented, is $300. And my third office was $300 as well. So you guys can do this. It's not expensive. Matter of fact, one of my first tips to tell you is office space is one of the cheapest spaces you can get to rent. And let's say if you don't want to have an office space, guess what I did back in the day? I used to rent out conference rooms inside of libraries. I used to use the Chick-fil-A Business Center. You can use churches, you can use schools. There's office buildings that will let you rent out their conference rooms for a fee. So there's so many ways you can do it. So don't let that hinder you. Office space is some of the cheapest space you can get, and you'll be fine. So my first step to being successful in making this type of money, you want to get all the certifications that you can get, so no one can tell you no, okay? Very important, okay? And if you have any questions, you can always call my office and we'll give you that information, all right? All right. Let me see. Also, you can definitely, once you get these certifications, you can do some side hustles, all right? So let's say you're not ready to go into business for yourself. You can work for other people. You can work for other DUI schools, other defensive driving schools. You can run treatment groups, okay? People are always looking for good, reliable people. So if you want to teach an anger management group, a shoplifting group, a substance abuse group, you know, people will pay you between $20 to $30 an hour to teach these groups, all right? Especially if you're good and reliable. I'm always looking for reliable people, all right? Once I get reliable people, I'm trying to hold them, okay? And if you're reliable, you'll go a long way in this business. But let's get down to the nitty-gritty, all right? So you want to get certifications that put you in demand, all right? I have a certification right now. It's called a family violence certification that we have here in Georgia. A lot of people are not certified in that, and it raises your value, and people are willing to pay. Like, I'm willing to pay top dollar to get somebody in here to teach a family violence group, because I don't want to do it every weekend, okay? I teach that group at least 5 times a week, and I have to do it because I have no one that can do it. But I would be willing to pay somebody pretty good money to do that for me if they had that certification. But most people do not have it. All right. So get your certifications because it raises your value. Okay. But also, if you're teaching on the side, you can also start your own program if you choose to. Okay. You know, you can definitely start your program. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. How do you start your own program? All right. So you want to know your state's requirements. That's number one. Know your state's requirements. So the first thing I want you to do a simple Google search, and you want to look for options, and you want to look things up. All right. Very important to look things up. All right. If you don't find what you're looking for, you can do number 2. You can call other providers and ask them how they did it. Now, When you do that, most people are not going to tell you their information. Some might, but I highly doubt it, okay? But I put it on a list because it is an option, but most people do not want you to be their competition. So number 3, you can call probation offices and ask them if you can be on their list, okay? You say, hey, this is John Doe, and my name is John Doe, and I'm trying to be on your list as a provider to provide anger management classes, substance abuse classes, shoplifting classes. How do I do so? How do I get on your list? And they will usually refer you to someone, or they'll just put you on their list, okay? And I say, what's your name? Okay, you do what? Oh, we're looking for new providers. Okay, cool. And we're going to put you down. Because some probation officers have the side list that they have, all right? In Georgia, it's really strict, all right? I feel like Georgia is like the strictest state to even do this work. You have to be, in Georgia, you have to be on the DUI intervention list to be considered court approved. But in other states, I looked it up, it is not strenuous at all. If you have the credentials, the certifications, they'll easily put you on. All right, Georgia is one of the hardest states to get put on. But other states, I looked up some information, like for California. I even met a guy in South Carolina, and they were telling him just to look up people in their yellow pages that were alcohol and drug counselors or did this type of work. And literally, there's people just setting up offices everywhere because there's no really governing body over court-mandated classes, if you can say, in other states. But in Georgia, it's really rough. But in other states, it's really easy. You just show them your credentials, put it in an application. Like for California, you put in an application, show them your credentials, pay them the money, and they put you on the list, no problem. Okay, so that's what you want to do. Also, you can go to the courthouse and talk to the Solicitor General and say, hey, I'm John Doe, and I'm trying to start this program. I want to work with offenders that shoplift or offenders that have anger problems or DUI problems, etc., etc., and they will help you, okay? I'm not saying that all people will help you, but in most cases, if you push yourself out there and you remove all fear, you're not scared, they will help you start your program. And especially if you're credentialed, if you got your degrees and all that stuff, other stuff, they'll help you. Now, if you don't have your degree or credentials, guess what you can do? You can hire somebody who has their degrees and credentials to start the program, okay? I work for people who didn't have the credentials, but they hired other people that had the credentials to work for them to start your program. So that's not going to stop you, all right? Lastly, you can start a program on your own and hope no one denies you. I know people who have done that, and it's possible because you see it all the time. But you want to make sure that you're legit and all your paperwork's in order and no one can tell you no. And the best way I believe that no one can tell you no is have your certifications in line. Matter of fact, my certifications have made me more money than my degrees have. So it's very important to be certified, all right? So the next question people ask me is, say, hey, how did you get your clients, Derek? Great question. So you get your clients, once again, through the probation offices or through word of mouth. You can do good work. You can start your office and do good work, and then people will come to you, okay? Also, my favorite, number 3, Google. Google is your friend. Remember I said this. This is worth $1 million. Google is your friend. If you're going to show up on the first page of Google, you're going to get clients, because the first thing my clients do, they go to their phone, they pull out their phone, and they look for anger management provider, shoplifting theft class, substance abuse class, domestic violence class. They're doing this on their phone, okay? So if you pop up on Google first, people are going to contact you. So that's one of your goals. You want to pop up on Google. So you say, how do I pop up on Google? I don't have a website. Well, I'm going to tell you how to get a website. You're going to go to Weebly.com, okay? Go to Weebly.com and get you a website, all right? It's very user-friendly. I've never had coding experience or anything like that. I started all my websites using Weebly, okay? You can also get your WordPress site, which is very powerful. It's more powerful than Weebly, but you can still rank number 1 on SEO if you use a Weebly website. It's no problem, okay? And you can watch YouTube videos to learn how to increase your SEO, or hire somebody to do that for you if you want. And SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization, and that basically means boost your ranking to where you're number 1 on Google if you choose to. All right, so there's all kinds of ways you can do that. Also, you can create a Google business page, which, man, that really works. And you can name your business, like for example, let's say you have a Google business page and you name it Anger Management Classes. That's what I would name it, because Google is going to read that and it's going to make you pop up. And you're going to put pictures on your Google page, and also you might want to change your URL or create a URL that matches what your service is. So imagine if you taught anger management classes. A great URL would be www.angermanagementclasses.com. That's the secret that I use. So you'll pop up first on Google, all right? Angermanagementclasses.com. So whenever somebody look for anger management classes in your area, not only will your Google business page pop up, but your website will pop up because that's your URL. So make sure you have good pictures, good video on your website. I highly recommend putting video and pictures on your website. Really video, because most of our clients don't read. Most of my clients are between the ages of 18 and 24. So you want to have video and all that good stuff because they're used to watching Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and all that stuff. So video, video, video. All right. Then you want to get an office space with signage or billboards, so people can find you. All of my offices are on a main street. Very important. So you don't want people struggling to find you. Put your office on a main street. All right. Find an office that's on a main street. You can, after you've done your work and after you got some seasoning in the game, you've been doing this for a couple of years, you can network with other providers. That's important. Usually, to build your business, you can network with other providers. I do it all the time after I've been doing it, so I refer people to other people if I can't do the work or don't have the time, and they do the same to me. So they'd be like, hey, Derek, can you see this client? I'm out of town for the week, and can you do his substance abuse evaluation? No problem, I can do it. Can you do his class? No problem, I can do it. Not a problem, okay? But that's after you get some season, and that's if you're doing good work. When you start doing, if you do good work, you will not struggle for business, I guarantee it. So you have to have the heart for it. This is not a hustle, this is not some get rich quick type thing, because people are going to see it on you. So you do not last if you're just trying to get money out of people. If you're money hungry and you're not trying to help people, if you're not trying to help people succeed, if you don't have a heart for it, you'll be out of business quick. So if that's you, just get out of this training, because you're not doing a service to anyone in your community, because if you're just in it for the money, it's not going to work out. But I'm telling you, if you do good work, you will be rewarded spiritually and monetarily, okay? So do good work and you'll be okay, all right? So, finding office space and supplies. Once again, my first office was $99 a month, all right? Go on Craigslist. You can find an office space on Craigslist, easy. Go to a co-working space. If you want to do it at libraries, you can do it at a library. Whatever you want to do, you can be creative and do it. I got all my furniture at Goodwill. Yep, at Goodwill to starting out. And they got good stuff. You'd be surprised what you can find in Goodwill, yard sales, what's that, Facebook, I forgot what that place you can buy, I forgot what it's called, forgive me, but Facebook, whatever, Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace, you can find stuff. But I literally found all my stuff on Craigslist and at Goodwill. That's how I supplied my office, and you can get some good stuff. My first office phone was my cell phone. Okay, I use a cell phone. I go to Metro PCS, wherever, get a little cheap phone, and that could be your first office phone. My fax, I use an e-fax because I didn't have a fax machine, so I use efax.com, which is $3 to $4 a month, or there's another website like Faxage or faxzero.com, and like I already told you guys, you could use weebly.com to build your website. Payment, okay? Payment. Please, guys. If you're doing this work, unfortunately, we have to do this because the type of clients that we have only accept cash, all right? Do not accept checks, do not accept money orders, no credit cards, debit cards. I stay away from that stuff, okay? Because sometimes you'll have clients that will come see you and they'll do chargebacks. So they'll get the service and then they'll dispute the charges later. Okay? You don't want to deal with that. So it's cash only. Now, there's a platform that I use. It's called Setmore. So go to setmore.com to set and schedule my appointments. Now, I will take deposits through Setmore, and I'll connect my Stripe account to it, and I'll allow people to make a deposit. Now, why do I do that? They can swipe their card for the deposit. When they call for the phone, over the phone, they can call me and say, hey, I'd like to make a deposit for my appointment. We do that to make sure that they show up, because 9 times out of 10, if they don't make a deposit over the phone, they're not going to show up. Okay? And you'll be sitting there waiting on people to show up, and you'll say, oh, I got 11 o'clock appointment, and then somebody will not show up for that 11 o'clock appointment, and you're like, man, I just missed out. I could schedule somebody else in that slot. Okay? So you can use Setmore if you want to do your scheduling. It is a great resource. Okay? So if you're starting this business, I highly recommend that you start out being a solopreneur, okay? Because you want to develop systems, and you're not going to be busy at first, okay? You're not going to create a website and you're going to have all this stuff, and then all of a sudden people are going to flood you. No, because your website is not going to be old. Probation officers don't know you. So you want to start off by yourself at first, okay? And you can do that and be successful, all right? You want to have your systems in place, and then also, in my opinion, you want to hire people that are beavers and golden retrievers. And you say, what do I mean by that? I want you to look up assessment. It's called the 5-minute personality test on Google. Look that up, and you're going to use that to figure out what personality types that you're good working with, all right? So I'm a lion, all right? So I'm good working with golden retrievers. That is my preferred person to work with, because these are the type of people that go above and beyond. They're people pleasers. They do good work and stuff like that. And I also hire beavers, because beavers dot every I and cross all T's. So that's a person that you want to have working in your office and doing administrative work, because you don't want anything to be wrong when you're dealing with POs, probation officers, judges, all that good stuff. So if you can get people, I highly recommend you get a beaver and a golden retriever. So look up the 5-minute personality test on Google to get that information. That's just me. You pick whoever type of person you want to hire. In my experience, doing this for 10 years now, I highly recommend you guys getting golden retrievers and someone you can trust. Okay, but starting out, you can do this all yourself. So, lastly, you want to get a mentor. You want to get a mentor that's been there and done this, give you all the secrets, all the short steps. I said short steps. All the shortcuts that you need to be successful. And I'm definitely someone that you can get shortcuts from. And I'm going to give you some shortcuts. I gave you some shortcuts already, but I'm here to pitch you some more shortcuts. So I will give you the keys to be successful in starting your own court-mandated treatment program. So like I said, I've been doing this for 10 years now. I've been doing this for myself for 8 years. Been highly successful in doing so. From doing this work, I've been able to start other businesses, other successful businesses, and travel the world and do things that I never thought I'd be able to do. And one of my biggest things to do is travel. If you love to travel, this is definitely a great career path to be in, because you will have the money and income to be successful and travel the world and pay off your student loan debt. And that's one of the things that I'm really strong on, is paying off all debt. And you're doing something that you already love. So like if you're a teacher, you're already doing this. Why not make more money? Why make an extra 40 grand a year? Why not make an extra 100 grand a year? Why not make an extra 150 a year? You're doing it already, all right? So here's my proposal. I will give you